Damian Lillard is an electric offensive player, but as a second-year guard continues to log minutes, many are wondering just how good he is on the defensive end of the floor. We can look at his points per possession allowed to get a baseline of where he's at compared to last season. He's made noticeable improvement in almost every major play type this year. He's a little better in isolation and much better in the post. That being said, there are a few areas Lillard needs to work on. First, he has a tendency to fall for double moves in isolation. Lillard plays quick and tight, and he gets beat by the simple hesitation move to his right side a lot. As Shaun Livingston moves his right foot back, Lillard gets even closer to him. This opens the left-hand drive to the lane. This hesitation crossover from Rudy Gay shows Lillard biting on the hesitation to the right as soon as Gay shades that direction. He turns his hips up the court just enough for the Raptors forward to blow by him. Consistent effort in transition is something I've already talked about in breakdowns, but it's worth pointing out again. When Lillard is caught underneath the free throw line, he rarely makes an effort to get back on defense. Here we see Detroit get out on a 2-on-2 fast break. Lillard is trailing the play, but sags behind when an extra Portland defender could help alter a passing lane or grab a rebound on a miss. The last 2 weeks we've seen better effort from him, as I suspect the coaching staff has stressed the importance of his defense. The big question with the Blazers point guard is, of course, his pick and roll defense. Portland has been forcing opponents to take a greater number of shots in the pick and roll this season. The difference in spot-up shooting for opposing offenses is partly due to the Blazers' ice pick and roll defense and better rotations on penetration. Lillard is defending the pick and roll much more this year. He is involved in almost 2 additional pick and roll plays per 36 minutes than the previous season. That his points per possession allowed haven't spiked with increased responsibility guarding the pick is an indication of some improvement. However, he does struggle when it comes to fighting over screens. He appears to lack some spatial awareness, and his attacking angle is often incorrect. Let's look at how George Hill of the Indiana Pacers fights over the top of screens in the ice pick defense. As the pick comes to Hill's left side, he has his eyes on the screener. When the screen flips to his right side, he's aware of the change in position. As the screen is set, Hill takes a step up the court, giving space between his upper body and the screener. As he rounds the screen, he steps through and trails down with the ball handler. Lillard gets caught up on so many screens because he takes a perpendicular angle when trailing the ball handler. In this example against the Oklahoma City Thunder, you can see him step horizontally with his hips squared to the sideline. He tries to rub off of Kendrick Perkins' screen and instead gets caught up. You see him do the same thing here against the Utah Jazz and Trey Burke. As the rookie makes his move off the screen, Lillard's first step is sideways instead of up and around the outstretched legs of Derek Favors. It's possible this is how the Portland coaching staff is instructing him to play at these screens. Even if that's the case, he gets stuck out of the play too often, leaving the post defender to cover 2 offensive players. He needs to adjust his positioning and step up and around screens. Now, it's certainly not all criticism for Lillard. One area which he spent serious time on appears to be his post defense. At 6'3" and 195 pounds, he's not the biggest point guard in the NBA. Teams have tried to post their bigger guards on him, and the results for Portland have been fantastic. Last year, Lillard struggled down low, allowing .98 points per possession. He would give opponents too much space and hedge himself square below their hips. This allowed players a strong move to the inside of the lane for a hook shot. This season, he is shading himself to the inside hip, allowing space on the baseline for a difficult turnaround jumper. That allows backside help from Portland bigs to slide for a block. If you've ever watched Chris Paul defend on the block, you've seen him work this exact play as bait for DeAndre Jordan's swat. Lillard has been excellent this season and is allowing just .59 points per possession in the post. Despite some issues to his game, Damian Lillard is an average defender for his position. He's early in his career and still learning how to play defense against advanced NBA offenses. If his improvement in the post this season is any indication of how he can develop his defensive game, there's no doubt he will get better and better on that end of the floor. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more video breakdowns.